welcome to my channel. I'm QP and you're watching QP Unleashed, the least talked about channel on YouTube. It's the channel that brings you 0 views, 0 subscribers and 0 likes. Woohoo! But it's got to get better, hasn't it? So fingers crossed, some people will watch this and some people will like it. Happy days. We never know. Anyway, a little bit about me. So I'll go by the nickname of QP. Stands for quarter pounder. It's nothing to do with the size of my bits, unfortunately. Or is that a good thing? I don't know how much bits weigh. Or nothing to do with McDonald's food either. The burgers is just a little in-joke to do with my kind of background. So a little bit about me. I support Southampton, so I'm in a pretty good mood at the moment. Mark Hughes has recently gone. We brought Ralph in. Although we lost Ralph's first game in charge, I believe he's the man to turn things around. A little bit of depressing news. I've been suffering from mental health 5-6 years. I only really knew what it was about 18 months ago when I finally bit the bullet, went to the doctor, and then I started talking to people, got some help. So anyone out there with mental health issues at all, talk to someone, get it sorted, because I know from experience it is absolute shite. But enough of the depressing stuff. Let's get on with Football Manager and the reason you clicked on it. But you potentially clicked on it by accident, but fingers crossed you're still there and watching. I can hope. Okay, so a bit about the team. We've got 33 million to play with, so that's a pretty decent amount of money to spend for a club our size. And then 150k of wages as well that we've got to play with as well. So that's all pretty good. Now, most of you have probably seen the squad at some point playing Football Manager. If you manage another Premiership team or after probably a season 1 Saints in the Championship, you've seen them. I like to try and kind of get 2 players for each position, just in case to cover injury, suspension, that type of thing. So 2 goalies, 2 right backs, 2 left backs, and then for centre backs have 4, and so on. I use Loki Doki's View, who's an absolutely awesome YouTuber. If you're not already watching him, you're mentaler than I am. Go and watch him, go and subscribe, go and like him. He's absolutely awesome. As I like Lelujo, and there's quite a few other really good ones as well. And off the top of my head, thinking, I'm having that moment and can't really think. So we got McCarthy and Gunn, who will be the ones that will be battling it out for the #1 spot, although Gunn is my favourite of the 2. Vestergaard, absolutely hate him in real life, but he's not too bad on the game. He's a lot better on the game. He doesn't have a falling over and looking daft ability on here like real life, thankfully. Angus Gunn, he's not too bad in goal. 3-star current, 4-star potential. And then we've got Hout. He's pretty good in the game, although he's absolutely horrible in real life. I'll try and get rid of him at some point. Yoshida, I'll try and get rid of him. And then for left backs, Bertrand, Target. Quite a few right backs. Got Cedric, obviously he will be the #1 going forward. And then we've got the youngster, I haven't brought him up on this one, Valerie, who will be potentially the #2. Decent midfielders. We've got Romeo, Holberg's pretty decent. Lamina's pretty decent. Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, Elanusi, good on the right. Gabs, who's an absolute legend last year. I haven't played Saints this year. I'm hoping he's even half as good as last year. He brought in a lot of goals on that right wing, cutting in. And then up front, that's where it gets a bit dodgy. You've got Charlie Austin, who I really like in real life just because of his passion. But unfortunately, he gets injured all the time. Shane Long, who just doesn't score goals. Centre-backs outscore him on a regular basis. Pretty embarrassing. Now, as I said earlier, I do suffer from mental health, and I did something that is a bit mental, but more of a more mental thing than a mental health thing, as in I recorded the video of this part, like what you're seeing, and then deleted it. I know, genius. So we're in a kind of alternative universe at the moment. So what we will do eventually is we will time travel to the future into the alternative timeline, which will be at the start of the first game of the season, and then we will go through the transfers and see who we brought in and who we've let go. Hello and welcome to the alternative universe that I spoke about earlier. I hope your journey through time and space was an easy one. Now, as you can see by looking at my transfer budget, got 1.6 million remaining. So obviously there's been quite a few transfers. And why do I keep saying obviously? That's going to drive me and you nuts. I will try and stop saying that so much and maybe stick a post-it on my monitor. So if we go into the transfer history, the first player we brought in, Tonali from Brescia, 6.75 million. he will fit into the first team straight away, and hopefully he will improve significantly as well. We brought in some free players. Literally what I do is I look into the other team's transfer centre, see who they're looking at, and then bid on them that way. And also when I do a search for like 15 to 17 year olds as well, look for ones with a wanted sign on the left hand side. If they're wanted by decent teams, then I bid on them because I think, oh, they're probably pretty good. So that's kind of how I do it. You get some of them you don't. So I like to have 2 players in each position. Asbufal's out on loan for the season, as well as Sims. All we had is Redmond on the left side of midfield. So we brought in a youngster, Yavi, on the left side. He looks decent. He's an inside forward as well, which I like. So I'm happy about that. Who else do we get? We got the wonderful Delet. What a legend. Really pleased with him. With the transfer, I don't know if it shows you this way, but literally there's quite a few add-ons and stuff involved with that. Most of it is instalments, 6 instalments. Yeah, 6 instalments every 6 months apart to boost that up. Then we brought Thomas. I haven't got a clue how to pronounce his surname. I won't offend anyone who is Czech if they're watching. They're probably not. There's probably no one watching. But just in case, I won't say his surname, I'll get it wrong. But another defensive midfielder, just because I think we're probably going to need a couple of those against the big teams just to try and keep the score down to single figures. But he looks good, and especially for that price. And there were some good teams that were looking at him, and that was how I come across him when I clicked on the Premier League and the transfer rumours. So I was like, we'll go for him then. Marini's one that I've read about a few times, so hopefully he will be decent. In a couple of seasons, he's out on loan at Blackburn for the season. Hopefully he'll get some game time and come back a better player for next season. And we've got Mourinho's best mate, Scotty Boy, box-to-box midfielder. He'll get some game time. He's pretty decent, and it just gives us an extra number in the centre of the park. Brought in another right back as backup to Cedric De Boer. I did have a game with Leon, and I quite like this guy. He was my number 2 at Leon again, but Leon are a better team than Saints, and he did the job there. So hopefully he can adapt to the English League and play there. Tierney, this one I accidentally bought him. I wanted to find out how much he's going to cost, so I did all that, and then I actually clicked confirm and bought him. But I'm pretty happy because in the end we managed to sell some players and kind of balance the team out quite well. So I'm glad that I did in the end, because he's 21, bags of potential, 19 determination, good tackling, good pace, decent crossing as well. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar and really improve the team somewhat. Barrow, a mental moment. Work permit is a no-no. I'll click yeah to sign him. Put myself in trouble, obviously, because spending 24 million on a player when you're a team the size of Southampton and you can't play him, it's not really a clever thing to do, but it's been done now. So then we had to look at some loans. So we've got Eggstein. He's out of contract as well at Werner at the end of the season. I did try and buy him. They wanted like 60, 70 million. Ain't going to happen. So fingers crossed, in January we can put in a cheeky offer and maybe pick him up. This guy, Sebastian, scouted him. The scouts quite liked him, and I thought he looks quite decent. Although his finishing's not the best, and he's on a lot of money. So fingers crossed he will do the job and get some goals. Otherwise, he could be a costly error at 20 million. And then on deadline day, we brought in this youngster. He's one for the future. Hopefully I'll better to loan him out at some point this season to get him some games. And this is one of the guys as well that the scouts come up with. They found him, and I thought, hey, pretty decent. 3-star current, 3.5 potential, so he's not going to improve massively, but he's got decent pace, decent finishing, decent dribbling, good determination. All round, it looks pretty good. So fingers crossed, he will be quite a good player. And then on the outs, we got rid of Shane Long for 13.5 million, which I was over the moon with to get rid of him for that. Bedenak, we put him out on loan to Huddersfield, and then Stevens picked up an injury. He was going to be out for, I think it's 4 months. So I had to cancel that loan because otherwise you would have had 3 centre-backs. I was panicking a bit trying to find one, and we'd used up all the loans. We had no money, and I was thinking, oh my God. And then I thought, please let me recall, and it worked. Yay. Got rid of Stephen Davis, 5.75 million. His values, because of his age, is just going to keep going down and down and down and down. So I thought selling whilst we can kind of get some money for him. Fraser Foster, so we managed to get 100k a week as a loan fee for him, and then Trino paying 35k, which is half of his wages a month. Tried selling him for a couple of million, but no takers. I was like, ugh. And then Bertrand, he had to go kind of because of the bringing in Tierney, and the money's 15.5. I wanted nearer to the 20, but that was all I could get. I had a couple of teams interested in, but that was the max price that we got. Oh yeah, I forgot I bought this guy again. The work permit problem, genius. I know. So I can apply for another one again, which I will do. But on a positive, we're getting 100k a month from him once he's on loan, so we are actually making money. So everyone's such a daft mood. And then Charlie Austin sold him for 17.75 million, which is a great price, I think, for something that would be injured a lot, unfortunately, so he wouldn't really get masses of game time. And then Yoshida's gone to West Brom as well for 7 million, which I think is a good price. So overall, I think we've got a pretty decent team. If we have a look on the tactics, I've got 3 that we're using. So the control position, we've got the press, and then a direct counter attack. So here's the starting 11 for today's game against Arsenal. Gunn in goal, Tierney on the left, De Boer on the right, De Ligt and Hout centre backs, Tonali is the defensive midfielder, Romeo and Lamina in the centre of the park, Redmond on the left, Gabs on the right, and Ings up front. Then we've got McCarthy on the bench, Cedric as well, because he's not fully fit yet because he came back from holiday late. Vestergaard, Armstrong, Alanusi, Thomas and Sebastian, and that's the full squad. But it's quite a tough game against Arsenal. They're going to be one of the better teams that will come across in the league, and a point would be a really good result. I have to say I would definitely take that at the start of the game. So that's pretty handy. 3 people listen to me. That's 3 more than I expected in all fairness. So it's the first highlight of the game. Arsenal with possession, just keeping it at the back at the moment, not really doing much. Lamina wins possession back, finds Gabs, it's 1-0, get in Gabs, great finish, great assist by Lamina. It's 1-0 to Southampton, almost 15 minutes gone, a cracking start, couldn't have asked for more than that really. So dilly-dallying, Lamina wins possession. Brilliant stuff. Great first time finish by Gabs. Get in there. Check down, stand a chance. It's 1-0 Southampton. Ooh. Don't know what happened there. So Redmond now switches it across to Gabs. What can Gabs do? It's a penalty. Oh, we'll take that. Go on, Gabs. For number 2. Stick it away. Left. Goalie's left. I told you he scored to the left. Yeah, it was to his left. I'm trying to work it out then. 2 from Gabs in a minute. Cracking start. It did look like a soft penalty, but you can never tell if it's a harsh tackle or not on this game. And I can realise the Litz picked up a booking, so hopefully it'll come up in a minute and it'll warn me to get him to lay off the challenges. Last thing I want is a red card straight away, especially on his debut. It's a danger man, Gabbiadini. What can he do? He's running at the defence. Found Romeo, Redmond, hit a long curler, not troubling check that time. It's half an hour gone. It's 2-0 to Southampton. A dream start, but being a Saints fan, unless you're like 4 or 5-0 up with 5 minutes to go, you can't. You think we'll take a point. Ooh, unlucky Redmond. Sure if they're going a lot quicker than normal. I don't know, they seem like they're on speed or something. So Arsenal to attack, we've won it back. It's Gabs, he's been the main man so far, charging at the defence. What's he going to do? Dodgy pass, comes back to him, and he's got a hat-trick. Unbelievable. I said he was really good last season on Football Manager 2018, and clearly he's very good on this one as well, unless he's just having an absolute worldie of a game, and then the rest of the season he's absolute shite. But that is an absolute great finish. 3-0 to the Saints. I would not expecting this at all. De Ligt now. De Boer, what can he do? Finds Gabs. Have a dig, Gabs. Gabs is giving it away to Ozil's, hit it long. De Ligt wins it back. Tonali now, what can he do? He's found Redmond. He's got a bit of space to run onto. Have a dig. Oh! 4-0 at half time. Unbelievable. Okay, now, I don't know what is going on there. Did not see anything like this coming. It's turning into a row. If there's going to be a team that went 4-0 up, you'd have thought it'd be Arsenal and not Saints. I don't know what to say really. I'm just kind of in a... I wasn't expecting this. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's a passionate. I'm very happy. Keep it going, lads. It's an unbelievable performance so far. Really, really pleased. De Ligt will probably, I don't know how it's definitely pronounced. He will probably come off at some point because I don't really like keeping, especially centre backs, on when they're on a yellow card for too long because you just kind of, you're tempting fate, aren't you, really? So now Arsenal with the counter. Aubameyang straight at gun, thankfully, and it stays 4-0. I say thankfully. That's the Saints fan in me. You still don't kind of think that the game's won just yet. Not quite yet. Any other team, I'd be like, yeah, it's won. They're done. Even at 2-0, I think, yeah, take that. Saints, you think, I don't know. So we'll bring on Vestergaard now. So it'll be his in-game debut. I'd just like to put him as well in a position what they're pretty happy with. We might as well give Cedric some game time as well, just to kind of build up. So he can go wing back, and so can he. It's just so they match up as well. Just do with the 2 at the moment. So we've still got a spare one, and then we'll maybe look to bring one of the centre midfielders off at some point. But tactics-wise, there's no point changing absolutely anything. Especially there, that's it. There, it is pretty much done and dusted. And now's where I kind of think, okay, yeah, we've got the 3 points. I'll take it now. Cedric, they don't run it back. Ozil, what can he do? He's charging at the team. Mkhitaryan, he's lost it. Redmond, they run it back. Ozil, Yaka, great ball. Whips it across, cleared by Hout to Ozil. And that's the full-time whistle. It's Southampton 4, Arsenal 0. Obviously, second half, not quite as exciting as the first, but an absolute massive result. If you did like the video, then please do leave a like. And also, obviously, you would be new. Subscribe if you're new and help the channel grow. And then we'll try and get daily content out there for you guys. All the best. You take care, stay safe, and be good. And just before we go, actually, because I did tell you I am mental. So what we'll do, we'll come back for the Man United game. Possibly the Burnley one as well, see how we do for time, and then just leave the pre-season up there just for a little bit, just to give you guys a chance to have a look and see the result and how things kind of went when there's that 15-0 thumping in there against Wiener, whoever they are. Obviously a really bad team for Saints to win 15. But then we got obviously a couple of games in the meantime to now want to see next. So West Ham away, that could be pretty tough. Chelsea as well, that looks tough. To be fair, when you're a Saints fan, every game on paper looks tough, but we'll see where we are when we come back. Fingers crossed we can pick up a couple more wins, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.